Wow. Wow. You did it, girl. You did it.
They told her to outside.
I know, right?
O come, Emmanuel.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Somi here again. If this is your first time, thank you so much for clicking, and I hope you consider subscribing. With me here today, I have a special guest. My very good friend is here with me today. So please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Boluwatife Chimobim.
Did you hear that? Boluwatife Chimobim. So you were thinking, why is there Yoruba and Igbo in the same name? Please tell us why is that?
Okay, long story short, my parents, my mom is Igbo and my dad is Yoruba, so Anambra and Oyo State love.
That would be nice. I like interracial couple things, but that's a discussion for another day. Today, we are talking about money. A lot of you here on my channel have seen the video where I filmed last year where I spoke about earning 20K in the summer for 4 months. But today, I have someone who has beat my record. She made more than that this year. So Tife, just long story short, before we even start the video, how much did you make in the summer? 4 months this year.
Okay, so in 4 months, if I'm correct, okay, I know I did the calculation. So from May till August, I was able to make about 24,007 something. I'm not sure about the rep, but I know 24 for sure.
Yeah. So almost 25K.
Yeah, 25.
See, that is amazing. I'm going to break down the calculations and how much she was able to make each month in the video. So, but before we go into all of that, how many jobs did you have to work to earn up to that amount?
Okay, so I was able to work 3 jobs, of which I didn't have all the hours like that, like straight in the beginning. So I think at the start of summer, I only had about I had 2 of those jobs, and I didn't have like equal hours as I said earlier. So, but 3 jobs in between May and August.
So you spoke about hours. Like, what do you mean? Like, you weren't getting enough hours? Were you a full-time staff? Were you casual or part-time?
Okay, so starting first, I was casual. Then before I moved to part-time in one of those jobs. So I think what helped me as regard my hours was some regular staff were going on their summer breaks. So those full-time positions were like up for grabs. So I could either like accept full-time shifts, or I just kept accepting. So I found myself, okay, I'm going home. I'm not working today again. And they will call me, hi Chima, are you available to work? And I'll be like, yes. So I'm like, why did I just say yes? But yeah, I think that was one of the things that actually helped me. So last minute calls for shifts were those things that contributed to my large hours. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think I've said it here before that like summer is the time for students to be able to make money, because summer full-time staffs or regular staffs in organizations, they want to go on their break. That's when people want to travel. So it's the time for you to harness and like seize that opportunity to make money, because now they are lacking staff. Like employees are calling in sick because it's summer. Everyone wants to go out, enjoy the sun. You know how Canada is now. Almost all the year round is cold. So when it's now hot, everybody wants to travel and enjoy their life. So that's when you need money. You want to travel. Where are you going to? That's who's your daddy? So that's when you now make the money. Okay, so you've been talking about having 3 jobs. Can you tell me what kind of job did you have? Because not every job will give you 25K. So tell us, what kind of jobs were you doing?
Okay, so basically I knew from the onset when I first got to Canada, because of the people I met who became friends for sure. There are a few people before this auntie here. So they already told me that if I wanted to like earn some amount of money that was not going to break my back to that extent. I needed to work in the health sector. So one of those jobs was like mental health care. They're seeking for help, which the government has already made that service available. So it wasn't exactly that I wasn't doing anything like personal care in that sense. So I was doing one of those jobs, and I was doing one also that had to take care of youths. So these youths are like in the space of where they're probably not with their parents anymore, probably death or like conflict or something, but they're in care of the government at the moment. So that kind of health, that's the jobs I was working.
Yeah. And I think I've tried to break this down before, where like health, when you hear health or support or care, there are several categories. Like most times when people hear health, they think, okay, oh, I have to do personal care, like clean people up and stuff like that. You'll find several other aspects of health and care that are not in that line. Like she said, mental health, or maybe just a shelter where people come to because they are homeless. There were loads of fire last year and this year in BC. So people lost their houses due to fire, like due to extreme heat. So now they're coming to shelters. So care is very broad, very, 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 very broad. So don't think just personal care when you hear care. So you worked in the health sector, and those were the jobs that you did. Did you have any other type of job before going into this?
Oh yes. Well, before God blessed my my beautiful hands, I faced one job like that I was like, I had phobia like for, I could probably not sleep at night at the point in time because I was like, God, no, I can't do this. So this job definitely had to do with taking care of people who could not actually like help themselves. Like they needed you to clean up for them, dress for them and stuff like that. So there was this one client that just made me be like, I'm not even coming back. There is no freaking way I was going to come back, because this woman, she was sucking life out of me. Let me put this in that manner. So at this point in time, definitely you have to like dress her up and do stuff like that. Then
it was exhausting.
It was exhausting because she would want me to lay that bed, but she complained of wrinkles, and I was like, how are you supposed to be on this bed and there won't be any wrinkles? So I found myself adjusting every single time she wanted me to, and it was exhausting. I found myself waiting more hours than I needed to, even if I was going to be paid for that thing, but it was actually very exhausting. Now, the personal care part of it was the most exhausting part, but of course I did that in the beginning when I first arrived, before I could get those jobs that the other ones that did not,
other aspect
of care that did not like put me in that position for sure.
I see. Okay, so you were actually working in the aspect of care that was personal care before you moved into more of like social and mental health.
Yes, for about a month, definitely.
I see. And you're talking about a lady. Is it like a personal client or a company?
Oh, this was a company.
Oh, okay, so the company just sends you to a client's house, and then you do what you need to do. Then maybe move to another client's house and stuff like that. And most of them were personal care.
Yeah, most of them were personal care for sure. Some were just as simple as being there to just like keep them company. Yeah, just to check if they've taken their meds, or if they're like properly dressed, if they're ready for an appointment to see the doctor, or before the family gets there.
Because you worked in food service before.
I did not say that story. I did not say that story. Okay, so first, like when I first got to Canada, of course, I was carrying this mentality of I like to cook. It's my hobby.
Chef.
I also cook. So I worked in this casino at that point in time, and I worked as a third line chef or cook. My life.
You so far.
There was like nobody told me before my resignation was not even formal. You need to have seen how I even draw that resignation. I'm sure they cannot, if they see my application, they cannot even come, because the way I left, I was irritated. Like I found myself not going. I was like, if they like, they should look on that person for the shift, but I could not, because it was really painful. I was standing for a shift of 8 hours. I was probably standing total for 6 or 6.5 hours. It was painful. I know for sure that there was no night I was going to bed that I didn't have to take painkillers. Like I either take like Tylenol or ibuprofen or something. If I did not swallow that thing, by morning, I was able to stand. And if I stand up, my body was aching every single time. My mom would sometimes call me on a video call, and my dad, and they'd be like, What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm fine. And I got so addicted to it because I was thinking I was having rest, yet I wasn't having rest. So I was like, I would go to church and they'd be like, Tiffany, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I just slept. Like, I just slept for 4 hours. I'm fine. But I was not fine. I was suffering. So, yeah.
Yeah, geez. Like, who would think cooking would be that stressful? Who would think so? All right, now we heard the kind of jobs that she had. Like, she had 3 jobs. Like, 3 jobs is not easy. But first of all, like, how are you even able to manage other aspects of your life? Because I know when I did this last year, like, my social life was 0 to none. So, like, and then I think I was doing 2 jobs at that time. So how were you able to manage other aspects of your life? Social life, love life.
Just so don't do this to me. Okay, so managing other aspects of my life wasn't that hard. Yeah, let me put it that way. Like, if I'm being fair with myself, it wasn't that hard. Cause first and first, not like I don't have a social life, but I'm not always like out there. I'm not hungry to be like, there's this thing happening there, I'm going. There's that thing happening there, I must be there. I didn't find myself canceling shifts because I wanted to go for stuff like that, except if it was personal. Like, I knew that I had to be there with some certain friends, and I would definitely, like, I would know that I would not accept this kind of shifts, stuff like that. So balancing, speaking with my family, because of course my family are like in Nigeria, my siblings, my parents, I just made out time. My friends, yeah, definitely once in a while we get together. Of course, we had time to go to places to like eat, hang out, stuff like that. Love life. There was no love life. There was no love life to pay any attention to. Let's just leave it like that.
Yeah. I think, like she said, it helps that it's not as if she goes out often, so that she will feel deprived. Maybe if you're the kind of person that you always want to go out, then it might be harder for you to balance it. But your social life and love life were pretty non-existent.
Yeah, it was.
So now we want to hear the amounts you were making, like, because we're talking about summer now. Obviously you work from January to December, but summer is what we're focusing on because that's when you were free from school. And at that point, obviously the 20-hour rule was not yet in place. No, now you can work more than 20 hours.
Yes.
But then at that time, the 20-hour rule was was still in effect.
Yes.
But summer is a period where you can work more than, there's no cap as to how much you can work in a week during the summer, during holidays. So tell us, let's start from May.
Okay.
How much, because she has done the calculation of everything and she has it written down, so she might be looking down to just give us the exact amount that she worked. So how much did you make in the month of May 2022?
Okay, so according to my already written records, in the month of May, I was able to make 3,558, and of course that was because I wasn't having that much of hours. Yeah, and in the month of June, I made 7,235.
Hold on. Did you just say what again?
7,235.
$7,235 was what you made in June.
Yes, in June.
Wait, let's just take a moment to just. You made $7,000 in a month.
Yes, I did.
And this is just the second month of summer. Okay, tell us what you made in July then.
Okay, in July I made 7,058. So $7,058.
Another 7K.
Yes.
Oh,
go.
Billionaire. Okay, and then what about August?
In August I made 6,464.
Interesting. That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
That is a lot of money.
Accompanied with lack of sleep.
I know. Like, you're gonna be like, just get ready, just get your body ready for it, because you can't be having your beauty sleep as you would. And I feel like it's okay, because like it's a sacrifice that you just make for a couple of months.
Yeah.
At least it's not like the whole year round where you're walking back to back like that.
Sure.
Like it's 4 months out of the year where, because maybe for example, I'm believing believe, I'm presuming that you have to pay your tuition. Which is
definitely.
Why, yeah, because it's for like people who need to pay tuition. That's why like we work really hard like that to get the money. And summer is the time to work when you need to pay tuition for fall or winter. Yeah. So in total, how much does all that come to?
So in total, that was 24,316.
Wow, you did it, girl. You did it. And you're mentioning that you had a goal of how much to make.
Okay, honestly, as the winter semester was rounding up and I was like putting all my calculations together, what I had in mind to make before summer ended was 20,000. So I knew that, give or take, where I'm going to end and stop was going to be 20,000. But yeah, as you can see, 24,000.
That is amazing, and you did it. Like, what kept you going? Because this, it's not easy though. So what kept you going? Like walking back to back like that.
Okay, so honestly, my biggest motivation, of course, was myself, because I knew that.
If you don't do am, who go do am? Your father Dangote.
Number one, I don't have sugar daddy. Number two, I knew that I had to work to be able to earn like that living where I'm able to do some things for myself. I wasn't going to be waiting for anyone, including my parents. So my biggest motivation was first myself, knowing that I had to do some things for myself. I knew for sure that I wanted to get some things for myself, like buying a car or like paying my tuition. Like I was like, I didn't want to like ask my parents, even of course they would offer to give it to me, but like, you know what, their money on the side, what do I have for myself? That was my biggest motivation. Then along the way, definitely of course, because I follow my sweethearts like back to back on our videos every single time. Like even before I met her, right?
Yeah.
So that time last year when she did that video of making that money, I was like, Chimobi, what are we doing this summer? If Chisom did it, like I am doing it. I am so doing it. And yeah, so Chisom was actually part of my inspiration for that, for making that amount of money. I was like, yeah. So it's more like a positive influence. Yeah, at that point in time, I was like, you know what? My friend is making money. I don't have an excuse, so I have to do it.
That's amazing, and congratulations, because that's not easy to do. But then, like, what would be your biggest advice to someone out there watching you right now, like who wants to come to Canada or who's already in Canada? Because I've met people are suffering now, I'm telling you. You think that, okay, maybe I've entered Canada, life should be rosy. Like I've met people that just want to go back to Nigeria because maybe it's hard for them to find jobs, or there's a lot. That's a whole conversation for another day. So like, what would be your biggest advice to someone who wants to come but then financial difficulties is right in their face and they don't know what to do? Like, what would you advise?
Okay, first things first, I know that regarding life outside this, definitely you know that you have a price to pay before you can actually attain anything that will be substantial for you on the long run. So I think the best I can actually tell you to do is just zero your mind that you'd have to work for it, for sure. That there's no freaking way it's gonna like land on your laps like, oh, life owes me, or this person owes me this amount of money to make my life a little bit better. So definitely you have to zero your mind that you're going to have to do the work, sacrifice one or two things, sacrifice your time with friends, sacrifice your time with, I don't know if it's going to affect your love life, but it's what the sacrifice at the point in time. If you know that both of you are not going to be broke. So the best thing you can actually do is also like just zero your mind to it. Like do what you need to do at that point in time. If you're actually like focused on what you need to do and making sure that where you started is not where you're going to stop, because don't get comfortable in that zone. Okay, I'm already there. There is always better. There is always better. So even if you're starting front line in that job, don't rest there because there's better. So for example, you're earning $20 an hour, you're like, I'm making money. Then go take, right? Guy, there is more. There is room to make 25.
Yeah.
There is room to make 30. There is room to have that permanent position whereby you're even getting more benefits that would ease your stress on some level. So possibly your healthcare. If you have probably like an underlying health issue, probably your job is even is paying some of that health insurance for you. So if you're doing things like that, you're doing them for yourself. So put yourself first and be like, okay, I'm doing this for myself. Zero your mind to doing what you need to do, and I think it will actually get easy. And one other thing, don't keep short. Me
That's such good advice.
I won't keep quiet. Chisom knows if I am in need of something, if I'm in need, or I don't know the road, like okay, I don't
follow who no road. Oh.
So if you know you don't know what to do, why are you shy? Why are you keeping it to yourself? I remember that every single friend that I had at that point when I first got to Canada, whether it was people that wanted the other interests or friends that were just there for being friends' sake, guy, I will call you 1,000 times that day. Hello, sir, hello. Guy, they find work now. That place where you're working, that's where I also want to work. You know, when they told me about their jobs, I'm like, Benny, I don't want to suffer like this. Help your girl. So I wasn't gonna keep quiet. So if you know what you're looking for, search you will set like your life depends on it. You're on Indeed several times of the day. You're not playing games or you're watching movie. I've arrived. It's time for me to you go collect, so you will shop corn. If you know us, you go shop corn. No. So that kind of a thing. If you actually put it out there, like my life depends on this. If I don't do it, there's no one that's gonna do it for me. You just want to, like, if you're lounging around because you're already in an environment where you think, okay, it's just gonna be there for you. You'll find out that possibly those that are actually taking action are doing more stuff than you are, and you can't blame anybody, and you can't even blame God. So guy, if you know what you need to do it. Ask your friends, talk to people. Don't be frowning every single time. Life is not that hard. You know, you're meeting people outside, like you need to network, like talk to people. If you know that, we can just bring up conversations. It could be personal, but that's up to you. But you know how to like chip in things that you know that you need to get done. I know someone who got a job because she was having a conversation with this customer even at the job, and the person was like, you know what, that's true, I know this organization and they're actually hiring at the moment. I can recommend you.
Amazing.
So don't be out there and be like, my life is ending. It's not ending. Be positive. Take that enthusiastic nature out there with you, whether you're indoors or you're outdoors. Network with people, talk to people, and that would actually go a long way, because no man is an island, right? I think that's my Tukobo.
Well, that's amazing advice. So thank you so much for that advice. Don't just come empty-handed. You'll suffer. You will actually suffer. Like it's not even a joke. There are several people suffering. Like I've heard stories like of people that come and then like they're bored, they're crying every day. They just want to go back home because things are not as it seemed. Right? So planning ahead is really important, but you can definitely achieve your goals. So thank you, Tife, for coming on this channel to give us this amazing tips. Like you can do it. Mine was 20k, hers is almost 25k.
I know.
What will yours be? 30k? 50k? You got it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is part of the Vlogmas, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will link Tife's Instagram down below, so if you guys want to bug her, go and bug her. I know they bug only me. I'll leave her IG so you guys can follow her and ask her questions if need be. Not for money. You don't ask her for money. Just ask her for any advice, any more advice, and leave comments down below as well. I can answer. She can come to the comments and also answer your questions.
Sure.
So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Yeah. Take care. Bye.